Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sanjana. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up my planner for the second week of December. And while I do that, I will be discussing about bullet journal and planners, like what are the differences between them and when you should pick when you should pick a bullet journal versus a planner or vice versa. So let's get started. And for this particular plan with me, I'm going to be using these stickers, and these are one of my recent additions to my collection. If you haven't seen the Black Friday haul, definitely check that out. I uploaded it this week. I show you a lot more stickers apart from this one too, and I really love these. Like it's just perfect for this weather and the vibes. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, consider subscribing because I have more than 100 videos related to planning and stickers, stationery, and all sorts of similar things. And there are a lot more coming up. I've ordered around like 7 planners. I will be doing a review of all of those planners in the coming week, and I'll be showing you how to use those planners too. So yeah, consider subscribing, and let's get started with this. I think I'm gonna add like this welcome sticker at the beginning of the week. This is a very different like material. I have never really used stickers of this material. I don't know, it's like very plasticky kind of paper. So let's get started with our topic for the day, which is a bullet journal versus planner. And if you're completely new to this planning community, or if you have seen all like the pretty pictures on Instagram or Pinterest related to bullet journaling and planning, but you still don't know what exactly the differences are, then let me just explain you. Planner is like a pre-created, pre-printed, ready for you notebook system that allows you to track your goals, appointments, and your day-to-day to-do list. It's something similar to what I'm using right now, and depending on like the brand, you will get different layouts and different pages included in the planner. Whereas a bullet journal, it's just a plain notebook that you buy. You can use any notebook, it doesn't really matter, but the most common ones used are dot grid notebooks or square grid notebooks. So these are the most common types used because it's just easier to create layouts, like whether you want horizontal layouts or vertical layouts. The lines will not gonna is not gonna restrict you because of the way you can structure it. And for that, basically you create your planner as you go. So any page you want, you can just create for your goal setting journey, or like your personal development journey. And if you want to track any fun things like movies to watch, books to read, these are like one of the common spreads like that are created in a bullet journal. So yeah, you can just create as you go, and I have used both of these systems in my life, in my planning journey. From a very young age, I had some system of tracking all of my things that I needed to do, whether it was my study plan or whether I had to like plan for my trips, things to pack and all of those things. I have used some kind of system to always organize these things, but it was in late 2015, early 2016 where I started using a planner, and then 2017 onwards I started using a bullet journal. If you see my channel's like first videos, like way back, many videos back, I have uploaded like bullet journal videos. That is how I started my channel, and you can go check that out if you aren't aware, like what kind of spreads you have to create and all of that. So I think both of these things are like, it has its own advantages and disadvantages like anything else. But in terms of like main differences, what I can say is bullet journal is a very flexible method. As I said, it's just you create a planner as you go, and it does not like restrict you at all. Let's say, you need like one whole page for Monday because it's a very busy day, so you can plan for in the whole page, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday you can just split it in another page. But in planners it's very structured, like you get same amount of space for each day, and sometimes they crunch weekends like you can see here, and other planners do that too. So bullet journal is very flexible in terms of how you can use it, and also the spreads you can create. For example, here in these planners, like you have some goal setting pages at the beginning. Either you have to use that or not. Obviously you can modify it a little bit. The way I do it, I don't use it as it is. Something doesn't suit me, so you can modify it, but it definitely restricts you with the number of pages and the design and stuff. Whereas in bullet journaling, it's just totally up to you. You can do whatever you want. Any goal setting pages or any other collection pages you can create. So basically, bullet journals are very flexible and planners are quite structured. And these planners are also like set up completely. There's no room for customization unless your planner includes notes pages, which some brands do and some brands don't. I personally prefer the brands that do have notes pages because I like creating some spreads at the back based on my what my goals are, like a wish list page, books page, and the self-care spread. So I actually prefer that, but I do know that some of the brands don't add notes pages, and bullet journal is great if you want to add like more customized spreads. Basically, I think for bullet journals, use it when you want to keep a log of your life, when you want to like capture memories and be more creative with it. You can also use it if you as just like a to-do list, but there was a time in my life where I just needed that. I needed that simplicity, and it worked absolutely well, especially a few years back, and also until recently when I was doing my post-graduation, it just worked totally fine. But now that I've moved out of it, I prefer more planners than bullet journals. So just see like what your purpose is and would you really enjoy it. And also let me tell you, like bullet journal, if you're keeping a simple one, it's pretty good. But if you are planning to like maintain a log and create all these beautiful spreads, it's definitely a lot of work, and there's so much inspiration online that it's easier to like kind of like it's a bit easier to get lost in all the inspiration that's there online. And sometimes, like I experienced this when I started with it, I really wanted to create all the pretty spreads that I was seeing online, but many weren't useful for me. So that's just a tip that you might want to take if you're using a bullet journal. Don't try to like create all the pretty spreads that you see. Just evaluate whether you actually want it or not, or what the purpose of that spread is, and then decide to create, because it can be a lot of work as you need to set it up like every single month. And one of the things that I really didn't like about bullet journaling was like writing dates in yearly calendar and monthly calendar. I love having like I love referring to these pages, like where there are yearly calendars, I always come back to it to see for the dates. And also earlier I was not using it as calendar, so I used to look back for monthly dates too, but I just like I didn't really enjoy you know writing those dates every single month, so it is a lot of work. But if you are planning to keep it simple, I think that is really good. It's better than planner because you just have total flexibility. So that's that. And in terms of cost, I think it definitely depends on how you use it, because and what your planning style is. I mean, I like to call myself a creative planner because I just like to create like these kind of spreads with different stickers or designs, and I want it to look pretty. I think that's a huge that's one of my motivations to use a planner every single week. I really like the time when I sit down and just disconnect from everything else in my life and do something here. So I just love that aspect of it, and that's a huge part. But when it comes to like my work planner and stuff, I am totally like a minimalist. I don't decorate anything. I use some stickers for like to mark appointments and stuff. They're very functional stickers. Apart from that, I don't decorate. So depending on what your style is, the cost would differ. If you have a very minimalistic planning style, I'd suggest like go for bullet journaling because it doesn't really cost much. There are very good dot grid journals these days for below 500, and all you need is a pen. And I also suggest to like have a ruler. It's sort of nice to divide things. I think that is all you need for a bullet journal. And when it comes to planners are fairly on the expensive side. I'd say like most of the planners are about 1,000. You get some below 1,000 too, but they usually like lack in something as far as I've seen. Either you have to compromise on the size or you have to compromise on the type of spreads. Like there's something that really doesn't suit me. As far as I've observed, like the planners that are priced at the lower end. So when it comes to cost, if yours is a minimalistic style, then it's better to opt for bullet journaling. That is what I did for a long time. I think 2017, 2018, I completely used a bullet journal, and then from 2019 onwards I started using ink bucket planner. And part of why I moved to bullet journal in the first place is because I wasn't like able to find good planners that really suited my style, the layout, especially the weekly layout. Something about the planners that I tried was off, and in 2019 when I got the ink bucket, it just like clicked. It worked so well for me, and ever since then I have been using this. I am actually, if you think about it, I think 2019 was the only year that I didn't use a bullet journal, because I went back to it in 2020 for my post-graduation as well as my work planner. And then this year too, the first half I used both the bullet journals, and then I completed my studies. So that book is gone, and gone in the sense like I've stopped using it. I still have it. For work, the book got over, and then ever since then, I did not replace it because I felt like I would benefit from a planner, as I just don't have the time to kind of sit and set that up. And if you give me something like this, it's a great motivation for me to make time. If it's just drawing lines and writing numbers, I just cannot do it. So I stopped using it for my work. For 2022 though, I am thinking to use bullet journal for my budgeting setup, because I have been looking for, a budgeting system since, I think it's been quite some time actually. I think ever since I moved here, I'm really trying to. I've tried a lot of planners. I've tried Happy Planner. I've tried another one from Fringe Studio, but nothing like really suited my the way I wanted to budget. So I think it's just better to create my own spreads in a bullet journal. So I'm seriously thinking about that, and there's a really nice dot grid notebook. I used to use dot grid notebooks from Muji. They're quite good, and the other one is from Matrika Stationery. Their quality is extremely nice, and the size is quite good too. It's not too small, it's not too large. So I'm actually thinking about creating a bullet journal for my budget. Let's see how that's gonna work, because I've tried a lot and nothing has worked so far. I also wanted to talk about like the supplies you need apart from just like a pen and a ruler that I mentioned, if it's for a more minimalistic style. When you are bullet journaling, it's really nice to like decorate. At least for me, I was in a phase where I used to decorate, or I used to like doodle and stuff. So in order to just decorate, if you have like less time in hand, then it'll be nice to have. And by the way, these are like nice things to have. They're not mandatory at all. It's just it's just something nice that you can use to make your planning a bit more creative and a bit more nicer, if that is something that you are looking for. And yeah, having washi tapes like really helps. If you don't do anything and then just add a bit of a washi tape like at the bottom of the page, at the start of at the top of the page, it just looks so pretty. That I think that is really good. And then I also like to have like different markers, especially either the zebra mile liners. I had both of these, by the way, the zebra mile liners as well as Tombow brush pens in pastel shades. So that was really nice, as I used to use that to like highlight headers. What I would do is I just like create a, let me actually show you, as I have this. Okay, I just have like a notepad here. Let me show you what I would do. I just really liked doing that a lot. I think just adding tiny detail like this made things look really pretty. So what I would do is I would just like add a bar like so, and then with a pen I would write like this is a very small bar, by the way. I just write this like just tiny details like this. I think it made a huge difference. It just makes it a bit exciting and makes your like work or like college stuff a bit like less tedious and a little bit less boring. Yeah, so that is how I would do. So I'd suggest, like, I think my liners do a pretty good job, or even like the Crayola I think it's called Crayola Super Tips. So what I had done was I got the Crayola Super Tips, I think set of 50 from Amazon. It was just like $1,000, and you get like 50 shades of markers, and that worked well too, because you have so many different shades. And I would sort of like match it up with washi tape, and I'd also use like printables. I just like download images of Pinterest and print them out and like sit and chop them and use like glue them. That was a phase that I was kind of enjoying. And that is something you need. And obviously like stickers, I think both for like planning and bullet journal, stickers is something just like really really nice to have. I just love it. I think that's my favorite supplies. Like first I like planners, and then I like stickers. These two are like my favorite stationery items. Okay, so before we continue, I still have a couple of things that I want to talk about. I've just made some notes here so that I cover those things when I speak about bullet journal. Before that, I think I'm good with the decorative stickers. There are a few more. I somehow like think of bringing these in. This is just repeated, so I don't think I'll be getting that. I think this I'll add it because there are just like a few stickers left, and I think it's just better to use it up instead of saving them. Okay, getting back to the topic that we were discussing about. Yeah, in terms of supplies, I think washi tapes, stickers, printables, markers, and also like pens in different like nib sizes. I had the Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens, as well as Pigma, no, not Pigma Micron. Yeah, Sakura Pigma Micron pens. So these two were the pen sets that I had, which had like a variety of nib sizes, and that's really nice to add like minute details when you're doing hand lettering and other sorts of different designs with the help of your pen in your bullet journal. And for planners, I think the supplies that we would need was obviously a pen, and I'd also suggest to like have washi tapes. That really helps to just add a little bit of decor, and stickers too. That is something, at least for me, like it's like a must-have. And yeah, I think this is it. Like you don't need a lot actually. I also think you should like have your planning style figured out, and this planning style, like it does not have to be constant. Sometimes, you know, it's going to be minimalistic, and sometimes it's going to be a little bit extravagant, and also depending on like why you're using the planner, that too influences your planning style. I think we're like I think this is the year where I really like found what I loved doing. Last year too, I used a little bit of stickers, but I never really sat and created like themed spreads. It was more like using functional stickers and just a little bit of decorative stickers here and there. So this was the first year wherein I really like, oh, you know what, this is what I want. So it's a bit like easier for me to figure out what exactly I need to pick. But trust me, like I have spent a lot of money on previously, like to like in terms of buying these kind of decorative supplies, and to see like what I really like. As I said, like the markers, I had all three: zebra mile liners, Tombow, as well as Crayola super tips. And then I figured out, okay, what are, you know, which one is better and which one is not. So just keep that in mind too. I think allocating a certain amount every single month just like helped me to not mess up my finances in terms of like other areas of my life, and not compromise on these things too. So these are the supplies, and if you have to like, if you need help, if you're still like confused between choosing like a bullet journal or a planner, I can share some tips on when you can, you know, when to choose which planning system. I think pick up a planner when you need a little bit of simplicity. I know like bullet journals, like, you know, the actual purpose of creating that system by the creator was simplicity itself, but I don't think that's the case now. At least for me, it wasn't. So I'd say like if you need simplicity, just pick up a planner, see how you feel about it. Don't spend like a lot of money, probably like $1,000. Don't spend beyond that. and see how you feel, and then decide like which one you want to use it for a year. If that really doesn't work out, then probably try bullet journaling, or you can like use both and just see which one you like. Anyways, for simplicity, I definitely suggest like planners. And also, if you need a little bit of guidance, if it's your first time like planning and tracking things and making like notes of the things that you need to do, I'd say like pick up a planner, because there are, for example, like the weekly reflections, the weekly dashboard, the monthly dashboard, and like the reflections page. These things like give you a little bit of guidance. If you can see here, the intentions and agendas, all of these things, I started like working on it after I got the planner. Otherwise, I would just like have my monthly calendar for appointments or like bills to track, and then I used to just have like a running to-do list. I never had like priorities or like new things to try or intentions or I'm looking forward to. I never had all these sections. So if you need a little bit of guidance, I'd suggest like picking up a planner and bullet journal. If you need more independence, like you don't need this guidance, you just want to be in control of what goes on in your planner. And yeah, I think for that, like pick up a bullet journal. And in terms of creativity, I feel bullet journal gives you a more like a blank space than a planner. Like this year planner, like this page is pretty simple, so I can do what I want. But from next year, for 2022, I've seen that the affirmation section is moved on to this page, so I will have to include that, so that like the creativity, like the what do you call that, like the freedom that it gives you is a little bit lesser in planners compared to bullet journal. So if you're more of a creative person, then go for bullet journaling. And also, if you aren't able to like find a planner that works for you, then pick up the bullet journal. That's what I'm thinking of doing for my budgeting system, because I'm looking like a lot for I've tried a lot. I've tried even like digital, like Excel systems. I think I'll be going ahead with a bullet journal. And also, if you in terms of like weekly pages too, with the planners that I've used in the past, like prior to 2019, I think the weekly layouts didn't really work out for me, any of the layouts that I tried, until I came across the Ink Bucket one, the older version, wherein each page was split into 2 days. That was so good. Like I absolutely loved that planning layout. And this year, when they moved to like horizontal, I was a bit skeptical in the beginning. I didn't know whether it's gonna work for me or not, but it did end up like working out. So if you haven't been able to figure out which layout works for you, then go for bullet journaling, because I used to like create like all different sorts of layout for my weekly planning. And I think that is why I did feel like it was a lot of work, because I was just trying different layouts all the time. So yeah, this is like, these are some tips to know when to choose a bullet journal and when not to. In the beginning, I mentioned about advantages and disadvantages of, like, each system will have its own advantages and disadvantages. So for like bullet journal, I think the main advantage of that is like you can experiment a lot and you can change things. And also it's not necessary that a journal that you pick is going to come for the entire year. So if something doesn't work out for you in between and you're done with the book, you can like try out different ones. Whereas in a planner, you have it for the entire year. I mean, no one's forcing you to use it for the entire year, but yeah, it's just like even if you don't use it, it's gonna go like it's gonna just get wasted. So that's one thing. And then another thing is planner is just like, I think mainly why I prefer planners over bullet journals is just that it's pre-set up. Like I don't need to spend a lot of time on looking for layouts and seeing what works and what doesn't work. It's all just like depends on my stickers and nothing else. Like I don't really think about layouts because I somehow try to like make it work with by using stickers. Whereas when I was using bullet journal, I used to spend a lot of time on Pinterest, like less time on the planner, more time on the Pinterest. So that's another thing. And I also like the guidance, like I showed you guys on the weekly dashboard as well as on the monthly dashboards. I really like the guidances that's there. Okay, so in terms of like what I wanted to talk about bullet journals, I am done. I have also like laid out the stickers here. I think for planning, I'm just trying to think, like I haven't made any notes on what to add and what not to, so I'm gonna probably like leave it at this and do it off camera. I'm feeling a bit tired today, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe because I have a lot of new planner 2022 planner videos coming up from next week onwards, and I really hope you enjoyed watching this plan with me and you found some tips regarding like bullet journals and planners. Let me know which system do you prefer, the bullet journals or the planners. As I said, I definitely prefer planners. So yeah guys, this was the planning setup, and also wait for the advent calendar opening for the day. We are on day 4 today. I'm just trying to look like for where 4 is. Okay, it's here. And let's see which chocolate we have. Ooh, it looks nice. It looks like the one with the nuts. I think I'm gonna have it. I will add like what this chocolate is on this screen. And thank you so much for coming along this journey of opening this calendar every day, and also for watching my videos. And yeah guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.